Jason,
Tony,
have you seen him?
Yes, and it's you.
Animal Chin?
You're Animal Chin.
I'm Animal Chin. We are mirrored, doing inverts on the chin ramp, and we signed a few of these, and you can still get them.
10% off.
These might be the last two. I don't know.
10%
off for holidays.
Use the code HawkWolf. HawkWolf. Hey, check it out. You can also get skateboards. They come in a set. One's a skeleton Tony Hawk and one's a skeleton Jason Ellis. And we signed both of them. And you can get them for a discount as well for Christmas.
For holidays.
For holidays.
This could make a holiday gift. If you have someone in your life that listens to our show or is maybe a fan of skateboarding, because we did this at great effort. We really did put a lot of effort into this.
I was scared for my life several times, yeah.
It took a lot. And so this is the fruit of that. And we signed him. And so we're proud of him. Hopefully you'll like him. Happy holidays, everybody.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, bro.
You been good?
I've been all right, dude. Just hanging out. Yeah. Just been nervous. Been like, what am I gonna say, dude?
Don't be nervous. Are you kidding? We're just stoked to be here with you. I want to hear your stories, you know?
Oh, bro.
Like I listened to your other podcast on the way up, in fact, and it was so cool what you didn't talk about. Where you want to go? I want to hear that. You know?
These guys both roll in. He's got a rolled ankle.
See you. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh,
I just said he walks in with a rolled ankle. You walk in with that elbow. I'm like, they still skate.
Yes, that worked on it. Good trade.
That is a good one.
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk.
You need to bust out a Coper.
No.
Yes.
No.
Bring Copers back.
Never do a nose picker with a coper.
Yes.
No.
Was that Tommy G?
Man, why you guys got the worst ideas ever?
That's an Animal Chin quote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah,
on it.
I keep
Rodney
forget-
doesn't even catch
I keep
that.
forgetting you
Jeez,
live in
so
a-
disappointing.
I was blown away.
really
I
don't.
listened
I
to your
didn't.
podcast on the way up. I was so stoked. Just all the nuance. Encyclopedia, man.
Yeah.
Just trying to be like you, bro.
Oh man, you take it so much further. Seriously,
Shit.
watching your part, the way you integrate things, the way you bring them together, it's beautiful.
Thanks, Rodney.
Yeah.
Thanks for making all the things.
Yeah, thanks for making all the things.
Yeah, we were just talking about Swatch, and it's like Killian Martin just showed me the clips of you in the Swatch ad doing the tricks on the Venice Pavilion tables before they were buried in a Swatch ad, and there was like clocks painted on the thing, and I was like, oh, so you must have dug up the table to do your trick for that Globe video as an omen to your, or like as a callback to your own self doing the Swatch ad. I didn't even know that layer of it.
Well, lots of layers. You know?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, just to see you doing that, though, I swear I got the best
I know,
feeling
right?
being back, you know? And it was just awesome again. I just want to tell you how much that part hit me.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's
Hey, Tony, remember that one time you and I did some cool shit?
I don't remember much.
Hey, man, you were awesome.
Was there a ramp there?
You know, when I was driving here, I was thinking, because I told Andy, like, what he does on a skateboard is, as for a vert guy, especially when you're like a super vert guy, like terrible street guy, I love the creativity and like how it opens up things for future skateboarders where there's no rules, like there's so much more that you guys could be doing and having fun at it. Like it doesn't have to be like you're the cool, because I was always like, I'm a vert guy, I got like 10 tricks, and if you do any other tricks, they're not that good. It's stupid, it's embarrassing. And I got stuck in a rut where I'm like, dude, you called yourself out. Like now you're stuck in like, you've got like 8 tricks because everything else you don't think is cool because you don't do it that well.
Played yourself.
I did. I played myself, and I'm like, you're a creative genius that inspired me to skate and do things that like I'm on vert doing stuff where I'm like, I haven't done that for a long time. I did some slappy back Smith stall the other day that I used to do when I was in the 90s, and I got so much fun out of it. and I love that I did it again. And I'm like, things like that where it's like, that's not really that cool. I'm like, I don't give a shit if it's cool. It feels awesome. And you inspired me. You're such an inspirational dude. And I'm like, Rodney's here, who is by far the most inspirational skateboarder that's ever lived. Like, and I'm not a freestyle guy, but I've always respected him for all that stuff. And then Tony Hawk is here, the greatest skateboarder that ever lived of all time in the universe, but he's not that good anymore.
Not as good anymore. Yeah, there you go.
And then there's douche face over here, and I'm like, I do not fit in.
What do you mean? You're doing slappy stalls.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
And fought Shane
I'm
Carlin.
53. I did fight Shane Carlin.
Yeah, which
Thank you. I lost, but so what? I hit him. Anyway, I'm 53, and I got my leg is completely trashed. My knee doesn't work anymore, and I still skate. I went to a street course the other day, and I ollied up the step up, and I should not be there at all. And they were like, dude, you should not be here at all. And I'm like, I know, right? And because I woke up the next day. I rolled my ankle. I was telling Andy I could barely walk. I was like, this could be it. Like, maybe you should stop being you. And then the next day I woke up, my ankle was not as sore. And I was like, I will never stop being this dickhead. Like, I'm always going to do, like, maybe it's not going to be.
I will never not be stupid.
Yeah, please, God, let me die stupid. You know what I mean? I know I'm getting smart lately, but just let me stay the course. I am another example of inspiration on another. You're super talented. I am not as talented, but I'm having a ball, and my body doesn't work. People are like, man, you're 53. You must be sore. Yeah, really sore. Like maybe sore. Like you wouldn't even know sore. Like if you had my shoes for one day, you'd be screaming in agony. But I'm alive, and I feel freaking awesome that I get to do stuff on a skateboard still. And the only thing that I'm doing that you guys all do way better is I just keep going. And like you guys are I'm like, I kind of belong here. I got a little thing I could say. Don't give up, keep skating. Yeah. But then you guys look what you could do if you like pushed it to this other level. And thank you, Tony Hawk, for letting me be on this podcast because I get
letting
to
you.
be. Yeah. I know where
Who's going to stop you?
Well, you. But I mean it, man. Like I'm a skateboarder. That's what I am forever. And to be on the couch with this level of inspiration, it's one of the greatest things that I'll ever be a part of in my life. It's a true honor to be a part of this couch. Because you guys are the shit, man. Like, all kids.
I second that.
This is the introduction, by the way. Rodney Mullen, Andy Anderson are here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
That was quite an intro. I had to, like...
Yeah, that's how we work.
Dude.
We're synergizing, Tony.
Yes.
We're synergizing.
Passion, man. The energy.
And also,
that's all you need.
When you're talking about you rolled your ankle, they walked in, he rolled his ankle. Look at Rodney's elbow.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I didn't know that you were related to an elephant.
There is no question they're still skating.
That thing is disgusting. I know. Could you wrap that up, dude? Like,
I need the story behind that, Rodney.
Yeah, we need the story.
Nah.
Was it one trick or?
Yeah, it's a combination. So I told you, like, where we left off last time, and very similar to what you're saying, like the hips thing, I was locking shut, like the wheelchair thing. And gradually, a few months later, skated for the first time, terrible. Like, my feet aren't even close to, like, 8-9 inches from where they should be. My brain's still working that out. And then over time, in New York, remember, like, hanging out there and, like, getting a little better.
I think you told me you had done an ollie there.
Oh my gosh, I was just, because again, if you land, the whole idea, if you land, they put caps on and you split the femur if you land hard. Yeah. So I was
Thank
like,
God they
goodness.
explained that.
No kidding, like surprise. Right? My friend.
I wouldn't want them to explain it to me. I'd be like, no, I don't want to know the truth.
Lance coming by, and it was the first time I threw my feet on that, really first time anything, even at Kickflip, was Casper 360 flip, spinning Casper. And I remember just that feeling.
How did you do?
And it came so, like, naturally. And so a little switch went on of, like, wow, I can roll. My point is somebody asked me to do a little video, friends. And I was like, they didn't even ask me that. They're so respectful. And Tony's like, what you're talking about. You're like, wait, I'm good enough to have a little mission now. I can do a couple of tricks.
Yeah. And it's fun to have that directive.
Yeah, like every night. So I went out, like, a week and a half ago. Like I go out every night. Like I'll go out tonight. That's part of the reason I hit last night. But
I was gonna say, if that's a week and a half ago, you got to go to the hospital right now.
yeah, I hit it again.
That's from last night.
Nah,
Maybe-
it's been bad like that for a little
Wow.
bit, but I hit it again last night.
Right. So I brought it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I got an appointment tomorrow if you want to tag along. It's just down the street from here.
I'm good. What is it?
It's a physio appointment
Okay.
with Amy Schultz. She like works with all the like.
You
she
two are the
works with, like,
last people
Utah.
that any
But
physio
they're
wants
not
to
gonna
see.
be like drilling on you or anything.
No,
Oh,
it's
right
just
on.
it's just like one of the most important things to get back into skating
Right on.
immediately so you don't lose your muscles. Like skateboard stuff, skateboard help, not
I
not
hear
skateboarders.
you. I fully do.
I'm sure you have full access to all that.
Maybe I do, but I never bother. You know what? But I should.
Clearly, by the look of your elbow, you don't bother. But go ahead. How do we get there?
It's just I got a few tricks like last week, and you know how the high you get, right? And so I started to push it a little bit, and so you hit a certain way, and like, oh wow, you know when you test it, does it move? Like,
Yeah.
it's moving, but
It's funny though, because when you walked in
It's
and I
moving.
pointed that out, I know the feeling you have, and you're like, it means that you're still skating
totally.
again. Like
It
you're
feels so
back doing
good.
it. Like
Totally.
I feel that exactly. Like every once in a while, I get a pretty good
yeah,
whiplash or chicken where I'm like, oh, my neck hurts, but I'm back at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it feels
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It
It's
does.
so
It feels
wrong.
so
It's so
No, but
jacked.
dude,
It's
getting in the
such
shower
masochist.
and having like the stinging all over your back from cuts and stuff. It's like,
or when you can't reach.
oh yeah.
You know that one?
I just
Your
love
arms
that.
jacked, and you're like, I can't. Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
mine's starting to do the permanent thing. But
Well, I don't like that. I like it when it's like cuts and bruises. Then I'm like, oh, it feels great, you know. But when it's like I can't move
When it's actually
something,
physical.
Scary.
then I get more
Immobile.
like, okay, where's the someone who knows how to read bodies?
I do.
Yeah.
I fully do.
See, I feel like you get that ankle where I couldn't walk the next day, and I was like, dude, from a step up, like you're so stupid. And then I would kind of mumble around talking to myself all day.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I'm like, you can barely walk. For what? You know, and then 2 days later, I get up, and it's nowhere near as drastic of a limp. And I get in the shower, and I'm like standing on it, and I'm like, I'm pretty much indestructible. Like it just regrows, and I can just tear it. I'll probably roll it 100 more times. I don't think I will ever be stopped. But like 72 hours before that, I was like,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I should probably stop. You know, but it's like you get a day.
Oh, no.
and
I
you're
gotta
like,
I gotta say
I'm
this
back.
is like
I'll be there.
the whole
I'm
journey.
gonna go back to P-Rods. I'm gonna probably pop shove at that step up.
I gotta throw this in there,
That's
right?
bad.
The
I
whole
should've said
journey up until the Olympics, I was getting injured all the time.
Wow.
And I like almost every contest I had some injury that I was dealing with. And I was like, please God, just bruises and scrapes. Like just bruises and scrapes. Like I love those, but like no more torn ligaments for like a while.
It's a
Please.
country song, dude. I love it.
And I didn't have any torn ligaments or anything until the second last trick was done. I only had one other thing to film, and it was bonus for my video part. Like my thing was 30 tricks, and then the last trick that I filmed, or the second last, was like the dark slide on that snake rail. And every time you miss the dark slide, you just stomp the ground like. And
Heel bruise?
no, I felt fine that day, and then the next day I went out and did like a street plant, and my back went out. I had my first
Oh.
back injury,
Wow.
and it was like
From the jolts?
from the jolts into
and
the
then the wiggle
twist.
stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're like jumping and you're like, ugh, like fully
For
like.
sure. I noticed how fast you had to jump into it. Too. It was insane. Like your brain is like twisted of. And I know spread out like that too. It's so sketchy. You miss it and it comes right up.
Yeah, it comes up and then it's just like. Yeah, it's like when you're in the dark and you're walking downstairs and you think there's one more step, you know,
And
and
it's
you just
not there, for sure.
and it's just you jam it in. But that was amazing that like, but then since then it's been, I've had some. I say I gotta make another prayer pretty soon or something. I don't know, but it worked for like almost 3 years, and then it was a back injury. But then, what you learn from a back injury, man, like learning to activate my core and like steady these certain areas, like elevated my skating, like learning from injuries.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you completely with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully do. When you're guarding something and you start to rethink, like, no matter what, just be cool. It reorients you completely.
Completely.
And there's some centering about that.
Yeah, centering for sure. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Especially right there. That's like, it's like the root, you know? Like, that's like everything is stemming from there. Like, before that, all my skateboarding was in my brain, hips down.
Yeah.
Right? What are my feet doing? Where are my knees going?
There's the chain.
And after that, it was,
Oneness.
yeah, and then it became like, oh, all of this matters. Like, I always thought, like, my shoulder, looking under my armpit, but I never realized the unification of this. And when I was recovering from the back injury, I would watch the clips and I'd be like, damn, I got really good style. Like, I'm in pain, but my style was really clean because I had no alteration because I was guarding my abdomen so tight.
How long did it take you to get over the back injury?
Few months. I'm so bad with time perception, but it's been under a year and I'm good. And like, I've been skating this year quite a bit.
Yeah. Tony, how was your neck after all that?
Much better. I mean, I'm 9 months out from.
Yeah. Are you going to go back? 'Cause don't you
I'm going to
have
go back.
get,
Yeah.
like-
And now a word from our sponsors. Guys, you ever feel like you need a little boost in the bedroom? It's time to stop worrying about your performance and get Hims, so you can feel confident, knowing that you can get ready and stay ready whenever you're in the mood.
Hims is changing men's health by providing you with access to affordable sexual health care treatments from the comfort of your couch.
Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable hard mints and Viagra and Cialis, and their generics for up to 95% cheaper.
The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits.
Just answer a series of questions on their site, and a medical provider will determine if the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you in discreet packaging for free.
No insurance needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care.
With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you.
Start your free online visit today at hims.com/hawk. H-A-W-K, dude.
You almost misspelled it. It's 4 letters. That's HIMS.com/HAWK for your personalized ED treatment options. Wow.
hims.com/hawk.
The products mentioned are chewable compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Back to the show.
So Riley, he couldn't run. You know, we're talking about bioaccelerator. He couldn't run, and then he went there mostly for treatment so he could just feel like he could run out of stuff again.
Mm.
2 months later, he ran in a triathlon. Yesterday, he sent me a video. No, he came over. We were babysitting, so we're grandparents. And awesome. So he went to go skate, and we're watching. How ironic! He's skating, and I'm babysitting for him. That's
so
a real
sick.
thing. Like, and it happens often, and we love it. But he came back, and I was like, "How'd it go?" He goes, "Oh, I got this one trick, but look what happened. I've never had this happen before." And he's doing he did like a crooked grind off a rail, and then dropped about 8 feet.
Wow.
And broke both of his nose and his tail at the same time. And in the video, his front foot goes so far over that it made me cringe. Like, it made me look away.
Yeah. That's hard to do.
And he's fine.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen that happen to Ryan Estenza.
He made it. He went back and made it.
The next day.
No, that session.
Wow.
And then he's coming to pick up Ronan.
Not limping.
Not even limping. Yeah, and I was like, okay, there's something else happening here.
Yeah. He got something extra out of it.
He got some extra, yeah, for sure.
X-Men style.
Yes, yeah.
Dude,
That's wild.
It was wild. I mean, really, like, and I'm sure he'll show they're working on a video called War Cry. It's kind of the Shep Dogs 2.0, but you'll see that in the video, and you'll be like, that is unbearable.
Yeah, and then that like he probably just like stretched that thing like the beer can plastic, you know, you just stretch it out enough.
Technical term?
So
no,
that
beer can
plastic.
You know what I mean?
That's a good one, though. That's pretty perfect.
So it's probably just like, oh, it just snaps right back or doesn't snap back, but
That's the medical term.
Still doesn't tear. I don't know.
No, you're right.
That's my theory.
It was, yeah, but it's shocking, and you know he's 31 now, so it's not like
Yeah.
not like some 16-year-old like, yeah, it's fine.
Dude,
I'll live with
bioaccelerator is a
So that is the
game
place, was it
changer.
Columbia?
Yeah.
Columbia, yeah.
It's
we're not here to
amazing.
do an ad for that. It's just,
Yeah.
that reminded me, because Riley was dealing with that. But how did you? I'm worried. I'm not worried. I'm wondering about your back injury because I had one kind of like that when I was in my 30s, where it just froze everything up, and I couldn't go downstairs. I couldn't walk. I was out for at least a month or so.
Oh, well, mine's not spinal like Mike Tyson. Mine is
Wow.
SI joint. So it was strengthening some stuff going on, but it's like on the side of the spine where the.
So it was a gradual recovery. It wasn't something that.
Yeah,
Happened
exactly.
always.
It wasn't. Thankfully.
Yeah.
But it was such a blessing, and I'm way better off because of it. And I probably needed a break after all that filming, anyways. Like.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the most blessing of a bad injury where you're like, whoa, what's happening? And then it starts getting better. You're like, oh, I'm learning. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, like, I remember.
Did you make the trick before your back went out, or you went
Yeah.
had to go back?
No, I made the trick. Everything was fine. And I was like, oh, relief.
And then,
And it was probably that relief that opened up. Like, I think I was so guarded.
I hear you.
I needed to film everything, you know? And then, now skateboarding is just fun. And fuck.
something gives in.
Yeah, and it's like it feels spiritual, but I feel like there's a scientific aspect to it. Like I didn't even know, but like I was like, finally I can let loose. But I know like I love fire hydrants, and you used to use fire hydrants as a Theragun before Theraguns.
That's right.
You know?
Wait, what?
Like,
Story.
Wait, you
I
used
know
to
what he's
rub on
talking
a
about.
fire hydrant?
Something like that.
and car wheel wells.
but you know the Theragun's got the
what?
soft tips, dude.
Wait. You would rub on a car wheel well?
No, oh my God, rub on.
What? You said it's like a Theragun? Like, is he massaging himself with a fire hydrant?
Bareback.
I'm confused.
Wow.
That's a horse. We're talking about horses earlier. That's the bareback that we're talking about, okay? I ride horses bareback. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a cowboy now. This guy's
I did
old.
notice.
Takes him a little bit. Yeah.
your
What, Rodney? I ride horses bareback. It's just what I do, all right? I got a horse.
It's your turn, Rod.
Seriously?
You got
That's
this.
awesome.
Yeah.
Where you keep it? Like, where you living?
Well, Ohio. I got a girlfriend. She got a horse, and because I'm like in love, I was like, I like horses, and she was like, this horse is neglected, and I was like, I'll help it out. And then we became friends, and then the owner saw me posted on Instagram and was like, Jason looks like he really likes that horse. Does he want it? Because I'm not taking care of it anymore. And I was like, yeah. So now I got a horse.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I washed him and gave him apples and treats, and then we went for walks. And then my girlfriend got on her horse bareback and rode off, and I was like, that looks pretty easy. So I got on the horse, and it wasn't as easy. And I just cut my hand feeding him apples with a knife. I cut the piece of my finger off, so I ripped my shirt off to wrap my finger to stop the bleeding.
The
So
Sinead
I'm
O'Connor shirt?
So I'm shirtless. Yeah, my Sinead O'Connor shirt. I know. This is my favorite shirt. But I was bleeding so much, it was like, go to hospital or rip your Sinead O'Connor shirt. And I was like, I just became friends with this horse. I'm committed to this
You're
game.
bareback and bare chested.
Yeah.
That's where we're getting at.
And I didn't see that she did the rope around the neck. I just had a lead on him. So when I got on him, because he stopped, I leaned on him and he stopped, and I was like, oh, I think he wants me to get on. So I got on, and he just took off into the bushes.
Yeah.
And I fell off, no shirt,
Yep.
dude, with blood coming out of, because I cut both my fingers, so blood's everywhere. And I fall off in the bushes, and then the horse came back. He's like, you good? I'm like, I'm okay. And he was like, you want to get on again? I was like, yeah, I do. And then my girlfriend showed me that you tie the rope around so that it's actually like a lead. Yeah. And then I learned, like, whoa, and stuff like that. And then I'm off in the wilderness riding a horse bareback. And then I got dreadlocks because he's neglected. So this lady at the barn gave me this conditioner stuff, and I brushed out all his dreads. Yeah. And then I gave him a bath, and then we're bros. And now we ride bareback at the stables all the time. And I don't know. People are like, you want a saddle? I'm like, no, not really. I feel like this is just
the way it should be.
Yeah, and he's old, and he's got a bad hip, and I'm like, I'm old, and I got bad hips. We're synergizing, dude. Like, we should just keep it as is. So we're just like mangled old bastards cruising around.
You should stop skating
the
with grip
wilderness.
tape.
What's that?
You should go no grip tape.
Oh, on my skateboard?
Yeah.
If you see me skate, dude, I don't need any more difficulty.
I like where you're going with that.
Yeah,
He wants
it's
to
real
stop.
No
cowboy.
seatbelts through life.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
No, I'm going to ride bareback, but I am going to continue to use grip tape. I hope that's
What about
okay.
rip grip?
On the top?
Yeah.
It might be a good
top.
idea.
Yeah.
Yo,
That'd be
barefoot.
sick.
Might not be a bad idea. But yeah,
I think it's awesome.
it's they love you.
Patronize
They're
him.
like, he's not. You are. He's got my back. Thank you. Yeah. No, we're friends, dude. Like, and he knows me. When I come up, he knows me, and we hug it out and shit. I told him I loved him, and I feel like he knows.
Yeah.
And we hang out. We're bros. And when he wants me to ride him, I'll get on there and we'll go for a little bit of a ride. Nothing too crazy. And he knows my level. He's like, I ain't gonna try to run. I know. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. Because I don't want to ride. I don't want to go for a sprint bareback. That's not cool. Let's just cruise. And then I just cruise around in the mountains. I see the mountains and the sky and the sun while I'm on my beast. And it's like living.
Yeah.
I'm living life, man. It's
Yeah.
me and
Feels
my
like you're
horse.
campaigning this for them to start.
You guys should come ride my horse.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna, but
Did you have a horse in
Yeah,
Florida?
I grew up around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was there
I grew
one
up
that
on a
was
farm.
yours?
Yeah, I had one when I was a little kid, and that didn't go well. And yeah, it was ponies had a complex.
yeah.
And,
Ponies had a
and
complex.
so yeah, there was something more involved. But
cryptic.
That's like an album title. Ponies
But
Have a
later on,
Complex.
of course, you're around and always feeding them, and you end up back on them, you know. So
Yeah.
I grew up with I know that feeling, the smells, everything. Like there's something to it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like a giant dog,
Yeah, it is.
but also it has like a giant heart where I feel like he knows my feelings.
because he's feeling that too.
Yeah.
You see as good as it gets.
It-
Remember
Yes.
Jack Nicholson?
Yes.
That's how I was
Yes.
with my dog. It's like he's all grumpy, he's all whatever, like loner dude, and then he sees the dog screwed up like he is, OCD, and then
Yeah.
he's like falling in love because he relates. Oh my gosh, I did the same with my dog. The dog was crazy.
Yeah.
And I seriously, I loved her, you
Yeah.
know? And so next time I'm hooking her up with like lights and stuff. I got up to 114 LEDs, you know? We go out at night. And it was the coolest thing. She would pull people over.
Is that-
funnest thing? So my dog was completely screwed up, but I like gave her like this jetpack type of thing. And we would just go out every night, come back 3 a.m. And anyway, that's like life changing for me.
Lit
So I
up.
get it. In Ojai. Funny. Yeah.
A jetpack?
That's next. No, he's
Well,
saying
I
like.
didn't actually have the jets.
Oh.
But I was working on it.
You
but
never
it was
know.
for right then. It was a light.
you're right.
You never know. You're right.
We did.
Because radar jamming was a thing. You know, it would be funny. Yeah, anyway, so my point is, I got really
Radar
into hooking up my
jamming.
dog with like Batman vest. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's badass, man.
Who is?
I love that analogy though. As good as it gets. I use,
fully
actually, there's a line in there that I say about Kathy.
Which one?
That when he's like, that, you know, they come and go and they don't realize they just met the most amazing woman that they're ever gonna meet. He's talking about the waitress. When,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
It's a
Yeah.
good one,
I
right?
think-
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know someone who's got that quote. It's a sweet one. Yeah.
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 You're
Anyway, back
adorable,
to that.
Tony.
I think it's
It's a
awesome.
good one.
Yeah. It's very, for me in my life and where I've been, this is an excellent turn.
Because you've had like multiple lives.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's just very, it's like therapy, but the way that it makes more sense to me than some dude hearing my problems. I mean, I probably got to have that too,
I
but
hear you.
this horse just gets me, and I feel calm when I'm around him. So it doesn't matter about the stresses of life. When I get around my horse, I just think about, like I said, dude, I don't look at the mountains, I don't look at the sky, but when I'm with my horse, I do.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm appreciating being alive,
Yeah.
and I know it's him that's making me do that. So I'm good, man.
That's awesome. I sense it.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I feel good about all that stuff. Also, that thing you're talking about where your back hurting and then you learned something, because God gave you that lesson. That's what I believe now too, thanks to my horse and other things that I've been doing lately. But I believe that sometimes when difficulty comes my way, if I keep going, something ends up being better. Like for Tony and I started praying, and when I first started praying, I felt silly, but I kept doing it anyway because I was at a rock bottom in my life, and I was getting used to it. A person taught me 3-point stance. I don't know why, but I was at a meeting and it fired me up. I was like, it's hard for me to be on my knees because my knees are so sore. So when I pray, I pray in a 3-point stance.
The hell is
And when
that?
I'm done praying, I get up and I get fired up because the day is time to go. And I went outside and I prayed like I do in a 3-point stance. And I was like, God, I don't usually ask for this because I'm not supposed to ask for stuff for myself. But I'm going to go skate today with Tony. And if you could just keep me safe, that would be much appreciated. Awesome. And then I went to the ramp and I slid out on an alley backside Smith grind. I got knocked out. And I woke up, and this is like a frequent thing for me, unfortunately, where Tony Hawk's there and he goes, hey, man, where are you? And I go, oh, no. I'm here, and I got knocked out. And, yep, you did. And then I was like, that's not cool. And then he was like, no podcast today. And I was like, come on, man. He's like, no, dude, no podcast today. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I understand. And then they watched me until I was talking and I knew who I was. And I'm like, I'm good to go home. And then I drove for 2.5 hours. I don't know if I told you this, dude, but a voice clearly in my head, this is dark, but it said, kill yourself. And I was like, and I know I've been knocked out a lot, and I know when you get knocked out, there's like a depression thing. There's definitely a darkness thing that can happen from concussions. So I've been down this road before, but I never heard this voice like that before. And I was like, no, I will not. And now I'm driving for 2.5 hours in traffic, and it's whispering it to me. And I'm like, okay, I hear you, but no, I'm not going to. And please stop saying that because it's kind of creepy. And then I go home, and I'm by myself on the couch, and it's saying it to me. And I'm like, hey, God, remember this morning when I said, can I not get hurt? What's up with the voice that's telling me to kill myself after I got knocked out? That's pretty heavy, dude. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning. Another voice said, you're going to be all right, Jace. Just eat some food, get some rest. It'll all work out. Just take it easy. And I was like, who's that voice? Because it was different than the other voice. And from this day on, that day, as well, I'll never forget this day, the voice that said kill yourself, to me, and I know it's not the devil, or I don't want to freak anybody out. It's a demon to me, and the other voice is God to me. And now I hear it, and the God voice always gives me good advice. Like, probably don't want to go down there. You probably don't want to hang out with that person. And I'm like, I see what you're saying.
Probably want to jump up that step up.
Well, there was a lesson in that one. Shut up, stop ruining it. But ever since this day, I pray and I get an answer. And I hear me or a voice tell me this is if it's a choice on doing something. I'm an addict, man. Like, should I go there? Should I smoke weed? No, dude, you should not. You're doing the right thing. Stay on the course. That voice, I listen to. If the other voice is like, man, things are pretty stressful. It's pretty bad right now. You know, if you smoke some weed, it'd probably make you feel better. And I'm like, I know you, dude. You're the one that told me to kill myself in the car on the way back from the ramp the other day.
No way.
No. The answer is no. And ever since that day, it's been super easy for me to make the right choices in life. I still make giant mistakes all the time, but I no longer make these childish, like, hurt other people that I care about decisions in my life. Because it's just a clear voice that goes, you don't want to do that, dude. You're going to bum that person out, or that's going to hurt their feelings, or you're going to hurt yourself. What about your kids? You could call it common sense if you want, but whatever it was that day, ever since that day, I've been on a fast track of like doing the right thing and being a better, happier person.
When was this?
Oh, like a year ago, maybe less than a year ago.
Since I've seen you.
I was sober, right?
Yeah.
6 months.
It was 6 months ago. But it was the first 6 months of my sobriety was the biggest struggle, you know, because I was just by myself and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm fighting it by myself in my house by myself. I mean, I got my dogs, but they ain't, you know, they don't have any words of wisdom. So it's just like, well, maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. And then all of a sudden that happened. And it's like I said, I need help. I'm asking for help. I'm asking for safety. And this thing happened where at the beginning of it, it seemed really bad and unlucky. But in a roundabout way, it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because now I hear both. And that's the other thing. The dark voice doesn't really have much to say anymore because it knows the answer is going to be no. So I usually just hear, like, what are you going to do today? It's like, kind of so. I was like, dude, get up, go do your shit, handle your business. And I'm like, yes, I will, because I know you steer me the right way. Thank you. And then ever since then, it's been pretty golden.
You have chosen wisely.
Yeah, it sounded just like that.
Kind of British and
It's
bold.
it's Tony's voice.
Near the Holy Grail. You were watching a movie. That's what happened.
That's probably what it was.
Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing that, Jason.
Yeah.
That's
truly.
deep, bro.
It's awesome.
yeah, man, it was. I know it's weird to say it in front everybody, but
No, it's great. That day
just-
sucked too.
yeah.
It sucked. You were out. It was bad.
Yeah, it was a bad
People were
one.
scared, yeah.
I was
It
gone
was bad.
for a minute. Like, not just a like, whoa, where am I? It was like I was snoring. And dude, when you're 50, you know,
The irony was that I was in our meeting room.
Yeah.
It's right above the ramp, having a meeting about helmets and a new helmet and new technology. And then I hear this thump and everyone's looking down and I was like, oh no. And we cut the meeting short.
Sorry.
It's all right. We know what? We didn't work with those people.
Well, then you're welcome.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that there was a silver lining for me for you getting hurt. But there was.
Yeah. But that's just like these days now when something bad happens, how you approach it is all different to me now. It's like, well, what can I learn from it?
It sounds like it makes your prayers more intense, more direct.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think I'm talking to nobody
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
And there's something.
I know
on the
who I'm
other
talking
side.
to.
But you have bad days. We all have bad days. Do you
Yeah.
hear the other thing coming back at you?
Not like that. I hear it every now and then. I laugh at it now
Yeah.
because I'm like, shit, right. Because it's usually like, you know, Rodney, I've done some weird shit in my life, and some of those things get suggested in my mind, and I go, yeah, that's a real good idea, dude. You should definitely do that. And then I go, yeah, right. No, I will not. No chance. That's the difference. Where old me, which is crazy, old me not only would consider it, I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, maybe, I mean, what could be the bad thing about that? And now I look back and go, that was really bad. That was a really bad choice. So
But
now
I want to ask you, Rodney, well, both of you guys, because you have said this, Rodney, where you're like, I think we're all wired the same.
Yeah.
You know, some are a little bit more deranged than others, but we all have the same schematics, right? Yeah. How did you guys stay on the straight and narrow in your lives?
You go first. You have
No,
really
dude.
good parents. Like, I
Yeah.
know your parents.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you came over for a bit.
Oh, yeah. And then
Chilling
we
in
had
White
dinner
Rock.
that night. And
Yeah, it was cool. Charlie
yeah, I remember listening to you that when we were hanging out having dinner.
Yeah, all my high school friends worked at that restaurant.
Huh.
Damn, that just went. Wait, what was the question?
Point being,
How'd you guys make good choices through your life?
We made good choices. I don't know.
You have, yes.
Yeah. Feed the good wolf. I feel like.
that's an awesome thing. That's a shirt.
Yeah. Not
a
as
graphic.
it's not as good as Pony Complex, but we're working on it. I don't know. I want to know your answer, dude.
No, you finish your answer, then
I
Rodney's
did.
next.
I gave a quick one. I gave a
Alright.
quickie. I was trying to hand it off.
It's been handed.
How do you frame it in a decent amount? It is. I think we all have something it's probably a little off. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then you seek out stuff that lets you be free. And we found skating together, yet we're all really kind of different, you know, and those nuances and the beauty of skateboarding, I think, also. And I'll come back to staying on the right path, but I think ultimately, after the whole arc of it, as if we're done, right? But yeah, man, after the arc of it, is the beauty is we found this place where all of us are drawn to it. We tend to be drawn to things that only exacerbate or help leverage the stuff that makes us different to begin with. And so we develop powers that make us even stronger in that independence, I think, and whatever it takes to push that little bit extra, where pain is good or whatever it is. And I think at the end of the day, for as different as we are, if we come from such radically different places, we have some connection and bond through skateboarding. And again, that's, to me, it's just the beauty of skateboarding. So when you say how, like, right decisions, I saw, not too much detail, but I saw people seemingly squared away that could do not just bad things, but, you know, when is it do we discuss evil, right? At some point you think, okay, that's not just bad, it's getting there. And then you start wondering why, and then you're on this hyper alert of, wow, there's a spectrum of people. They can be in mansions, they can be in ghettos, they can be wherever. And they all have the same fabric. Some just cloak it a little bit better, right? It's like American Psycho style, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? American Psycho?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The business
Yeah, there's
cards.
that. So what is the point? Is being on the alert for seeing, oh, this is what some people very capable of murder or whatever look like.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fully functioning, but you're just watching, you recognize it, and you step back. And I don't know, you say you pray, like I always, as a kid, yeah, I prayed. I grew up in the South trying to push away faith because of televangelism or whatever. Angry about that, but yet always drawn to it. And then I had an up-close personal with someone who went like, committed, actually family member, and came back, had a story of someone who saw a vision that was right when it couldn't be right, details, and that was enough to change his life, and devoted his life to Crowleyism and Golden Dawn and all this hardcore magic stuff. He had a doctor's degree, was a successful doctor, and I remember going into his room, and you seen those ritual daggers, the squealy ones? And the candles and rope.
Yeah,
But they were
like
in
in
his
Dungeons and
medical
Dragons,
bag.
maybe.
This is the
Very
real
occult.
thing.
Yeah.
And it was in his medical bag. And this is family.
Whoa.
And I remember looking at it. I'm thinking, man, these cats are ending up missing around the neighborhood, And at best. And I'm thinking, all right, seeing that kind of darkness, which is kind of what I'm drawn to. I think maybe you're the similar, right? You're drawn to something. But then seeing it, that brought me back to light. And so in the arc of things, if I can bring maybe the three ideas together, that recognizing whether squared away suits, doctors, there's evil in there, they can be cloaking it. And then people, sometimes I remember like going on the road with Menace and like some of those characters, a couple of them doing time, one of them, right, caught with a body in the trunk type of thing before he was on his way to the desert. And I love this dude. And oddly enough to me, I trusted him more than people like from way squared away because he would never lie to me. My point is being exposed to so many people in skateboarding who are on fringes, on edges. You recognize the whole time you have more in common with them than maybe the average people around. At least we have this belonging, right? This, I think, if anything, folded me into whatever you do, we have a certain amount of gifts. We've been given this freakish thing. Make the most of them, right? Just go try to help each other belong. Sense of belonging, to me, that's wealth beyond all. So what is it that kept me straight? Being exposed to stuff that...
Where one choice could just turn it into total darkness.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
People so much like you, people of your same blood, and there's darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And then people from another world, and there's so much darkness, yet there's light through what we share.
Yin yang.
So, yeah.
Didn't you kind of experience that, Tony, when you were, like, you saw people that were in your...
Well,
you
sure.
were all
I
doing
mean,
the same
my
thing?
peers, it was all well documented. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
Oh, yeah.
people were partying on the decks
Right.
of the ramps, while we were trying to skate, and it was like, and somehow that was a badge of honor, and I was like, that sucks.
Right, but you watched their...
I watched it when I watched their
abilities
downfall,
decline,
sure,
right.
and I watched their abilities decline. Yeah, obviously, and then.
Yeah, I
But it was just
remember-
never like I had Rodney's mindset, and I'm sure yours too, where the priority and the skating was paramount to everything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I had to do my best skating at every turn, at every at every video, even just practice sessions. I had to do something that I felt like I was impressive to myself to be even content, right? And then going and doing demos and be like, I'm gonna do everything I have here. I've been watching old videos lately, like a few demos that we've done have popped up lately, and I eat shit so hard at these demos,
Yeah,
at
me
least once or
too.
twice. I'm like, no wonder my fucking neck hurts so bad.
Yeah.
But I had to give it my all every single time, and if I was partying, there's no way I could give it my all.
Yeah.
It was gonna be half-assed, and it was gonna be terrible and phoning it in, and That was not acceptable. I mean, is that how you felt, right?
Look, not only how I felt, but because we're just waiting around doing our thing. I'll say this, I took so much from you watching you do that. Not many people related to winning all these contests, right? Mm-hmm. And one thing that I would watch you do, because the pool stuff, freestyle, whatever, sideshow.
Freestyle's awesome.
I'm not gonna get away with it, Rodney.
No, man. So
That'd be the first time I said that on the show.
well, thank you for inviting me to this. How awesome.
That's so great.
So Tony, I mean, Christian, you, like all that, all the lights at night, like the drama, all the like sequences and flashes. Stacy, oh my gosh, I listened to your podcast when you talked about calling Stacy. God, the fact you bottled that up inside of you and just sip on it,
Dude.
That advice, that is gold.
Yeah. Stacy's giving me some. I got it written down and read, well read.
2 notes on that, but one first to finish Tony is quickly enough is Tony, I would watch all that drama and you guys flying around and you just killing it. And then for all of it and you'd win. And then you'd go right back to that back half pipe or whatever and just keep going after the contest. It wasn't the contest that gave you
the contest was the
crown.
release. It was like,
exactly,
oh, now you're going to learn
I'm
something.
liberated from that crap.
Oh my God,
that-
absolutely.
The best in show
Yeah,
stuff.
the chains are off now.
I
Let's
hear
go.
you. I relate to that.
That's how I learned accidents.
Wait, that's how I learned accidents. What is that?
Invert to layback air.
Oh wow.
The
you
day
call them
after a
accidents?
contest.
Like,
Yeah,
you
they
wrote
are
that
I was
accidents.
like, that's because
Yeah.
It was an
because
accident.
because he's being
Yeah.
so modest that it's. That was one of the tricks where when I watched the animal chin video, I'm like, how do you do that? And I was positive that he's in a hand plant and then he looks the other way, and I'm like, you look the other way, and he's like, I don't look the other way. I fall the other way, so I look where I'm going, and I'm like. How does that make sense?
But that's how it was the day after a contest at Del Mar, and then we're obviously the next day. I was like, yes, contest is over.
Yeah.
We can skate the pool however we want. And then I was just practicing stalling inverse, and then when I just stalled, and then all of a sudden I fell back the other way, and I was held onto it.
Hell yeah.
And that
Which
was an
is
accident. But
insane.
Man, that slow fall and then looking and you just went with it? That's what it was?
yeah, I landed super low, but
Nevertheless.
I was pretty high.
That must
But
have felt awesome.
It's
Like,
funny
you must
because
felt
it's
like an
funny to
eternity.
think that I didn't think that was going to move the needle or anything. I didn't even think I created something new. It was just like, oh man, that was weird.
My needle flew off.
You know what I mean? That was
out of
weird.
the
And
sky
it was
when you
like,
did
and it was
that.
more like, I'm never going to be able to recreate that on purpose.
Yeah.
And I never really could.
Yeah.
But it always but then when it happened, I was cool with it.
Yeah, you just lock in.
And then I just saw a video recently. I did El Gariel in a contest to accident.
Wow.
Because I got
And
stuck there.
thought-
Cut the clip. I don't know
I
what
thought he
you're
did it on
talking about.
purpose.
I got to find that one. I know.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't picture this at all.
The best part about those days was trying to figure out how to do your stuff on vert. That was the best. Like, I mean, did you finger flip air? That was originally called a mutt air. Did you know that?
I did not know that it was called a mutt air.
Finally trumped him on some trivia.
Good.
Dang. Okay, now I know.
Yeah, that was it. Because I was like, I finally learned a Rodney trick in the air, finger flip. So I called it the mutt air.
That's
Didn't
perfect. 'Cause
stick. No one says it, but we tried, Rodney.
That in itself, I'm taking that. I never knew that myself.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was
I
written in
never
a
knew-
magazine once. It said the mud air, and I was like,
You didn't read that copy?
No, I never did. You look at the pictures. You know?
I was in Australia.
I
I was in Australia at a water ski shop where there was a skate section, and the guy behind the counter said that there's this dude Tony Hawk in America that does finger flip, and I called him out for being a bullshit artist. I was like, "Shut up, idiot! This guy doesn't know anything." And I'm like, "How's that even work?"
Yeah.
And he's like, he flips it, and I'm like, "And then what happens?"
And
he's
he
like, "He grabs
catches
it
it.
again." I'm like, "What? The nose again?" Yeah. And I'm like, "No, that's impossible. That's not how it happens." And then we got magazines like a couple months later, and there it was, and I was like, "Son of a bitch, that's
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah.
You can do that."
Yeah, it's pretty
I
hard
mean,
to
he
believe.
could do that.
It's, like,
oh, I was.
You could do that.
The fact
Nobody
that
else.
he
Yeah, but
caught it
that's
again.
another thing. Rodney feels the same way, and I sense that you might too, where you do that kind of thing, and it's just your own personal achievement and goal. And you don't think anyone really cares. Like, it was just so awkward, and it was so
You were
bizarre, and it wasn't cool, right?
You were wrong.
Well,
we cared.
you guys didn't have That's what I'm so stoked about with you guys. Is you guys didn't have people to look up to that were doing the stuff that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like for me, I could be like, oh, I'm gonna watch every podcast with Rodney and try to find all the nuggets of information that he shares, and then you know what I mean, and then like implement that. And like you didn't have that. So I have a question for you guys: is like, what were your inspirations outside of skateboarding? Like, where did you learn about movement and how the body, like, how do you even figure out that you're like when you're flying sideways that you can just keep this still and flip that? Like,
was there a life outside of skateboarding? Yeah.
but like, did you know what I mean? Like, there's some things like Wing Chun or ballet or stuff like that might hold these secrets that you brought into skateboarding, and then people study the skateboarding, but they don't know the backstory work that went into creating the thing that they're studying.
Yeah. So, unless you want to go.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't have any other influences. Yeah. I mean, I loved like at Del Mar skate ramps there were trampolines.
Yeah.
So we would go bounce the trampolines.
You tailed those too.
Yeah, we learned how to go super high and flip, and so I learned spatial awareness. I think doing that.
That's what you got. Yeah.
Some of it,
that makes
but
a lot of sense.
I never equated that to skating. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
but it did build you.
It definitely helped.
It added a little superpower.
Yeah.
You could tap into.
Yeah, if I jump on a trampoline, I get above the amount of air I can comfortably get in a bowl, and my body freaks out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the amount of air I can get in a bowl is how high I can jump on a trampoline without
Trampolines taught me upside down awareness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fully.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I had a trampoline. I was lucky. My parents had a trampoline, and I used to have a skateboard deck, and I would flip my board, and I learned how to do half a somersault. So I would jump high, and then at the last second tuck my head and land on the back of my shoulders, and I could spring off my back that way. But it was also, I could jump head first and still be safe. So then I started to flip my board, and that's how I didn't make kickflip 540 because I couldn't roll away, but I would flip the board, and I'd be upside down, and I would catch the deck behind my head. Because I had such awareness upside
it's
down.
It's so funny hearing that now, because that is exactly what you look like. Yeah. Try it on vert.
Every time I tried it on vert, I was like, I know that there's like a way where you can catch it to your feet, but I was like,
out of a trampoline.
No.
Yeah,
because I just saought it was so much cooler if you were upside down in a Christ there.
Yeah, you know, you've seen Kickflip 5s, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It stays close to the body.
Yeah,
It's
totally,
all, everything is very calculated. This is like,
yeah.
I would let
Christ there, let's just and then the wall's coming. 5, 4, 3, 2.
The way I would kickflip is
so
I would turn my body, and as I flipped off into the air, I would hold my front foot stiff, so my front foot would roll off the board and make it to a kickflip.
Oh yeah.
And I would feel the board flip behind me and catch it with my hand behind me and look over my shoulder for the landing.
Yeah.
But the thing is when I look over and see the landing, I'm in an upside down Christ there, like 8 foot high, and that
So
bit would be
sick.
like, this is bad. You know what I mean? Like it would be like committing was hard.
But it must have looked beautiful in that mid shot.
Andy didn't make fun of me because
sure.
I won a best trick contest and I didn't even make it. I landed with my foot off, and they were like, "Dude, you win. That's insane." I was like, "Okay, thank you."
Wait, what do you mean you land with your foot off?
My back foot popped off the tail, and I went to my knee and stood up again.
And then,
But you dragged all the way down your knee?
No way.
That in itself is nuts. Wow.
There you go. I won.
but
I want to see backside air
true
to that.
skate contest form. In true 90s skate contest form, they let him, or they gave him the first place. For that.
Dude, that would be sick though. Backside air to back foot off, slow all the way down to freestyle routine.
It's all yours.
Get out of here.
It's all yours.
No, but Rodney, what's your answer, bro?
Oh, yeah, I'm just thinking of Gino's. I think it was Nolly, half cab. It was tables, Lockwood or something. Gino, right? Most stylish ever. Did he shove it out or what? I just remember he landed, lifted up one foot, so stylish and brought it down. But to this day, like, could that have been better? Never, no precedent. Anyway, one-footed. Huh.
No, it doesn't go back to me.
It wasn't like that, but we liked where you went with it.
Okay. I far more importantly, and we can get to it. That's fine. But the whole like anti-wax thing, that rail. Tell something about that story because that is nuts.
Dude, okay, I'm glad you brought it up. Tony Hawk uses anti-wax. He did it for his tail block the other day.
So I'll
I
say.
saw it. It's not just
I did.
me.
Yeah.
Anti-wax.
One-footed tail tap.
People used to be
I
like,
put tape on like you did for the Cholito.
Yeah. I invented
know
the
what?
Chilito. I don't know if you know that.
What is that?
How dare you?
You use anti-vax too?
You Philistine.
It's a fast playing tail tap. I invented it.
Tail tap, though, not
man.
body jar, like actual, old school tap.
It's just stuck on
So
there.
we put tape on the coping and try to aim for it.
I used to do it up an extension that was concrete coping, so it was
man.
easy.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And then I talked about it on this podcast, and Tony's like, "You should do it on the vert ramp." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And every time my tail hit, it would slip off the coping. And then Tony, the brainiac, was like, "Put some tape there,
The brainiac.
and it'll stick."
Yo.
And sure enough, he
And
was
there you
right.
go, you
How
got
long
it.
you been doing that, bro? How long you been using that?
No, that was the first time.
Oh.
But then I had to bring it back for the one-footed tail tap.
But that was the first time? It's not like an
First time
ancient
was
technique?
my Chilito, then he.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh no, you know what? I put grip tape on. I don't know if you ever saw. I did a pivot on the ladder.
Yeah.
I put
You-
grip tape
Oh,
on the
yeah.
ladder.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, on the top
On your
of the
ramp,
ladder.
right?
Good
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Sick.
That's awesome. Just hanging out. You pivoted.
Yeah,
And then
because you'll see.
I bet you-
There's one of me slamming.
Oof, gotta be ugly.
Before I put grip tape on it,
Yeah.
because I hit the truck, I was like sick, and then it slipped off right when I committed to
If
going
you
in.
slip on a ladder,
Horrible.
Oh no, I got.
Go under the ladder.
I
under the
actually
ladder.
blamed that particular whiplash for a lot of my problems
Yeah,
in
that's
recent
fair.
years.
Yeah.
that's a horrific
That's a loaded
thing to
statement.
have.
I'll have to find it. You're welcome. Yeah,
Wow.
cool. Can't wait to go.
Well, new meaning.
I bet.
What's
Well,
that?
but just back, new meaning to, that trick. Because I look at that actually trick a lot.
Yeah, well,
anti. So
we all
just
have our little cheats.
speaking of cheats, it's Balboa
Tape on your
Park.
fingers, grip tape on the ladder.
Mike Tanaski would not give me
Mike
peace.
T.
Yeah, Mike Tanaski, Mike T, man. Wouldn't give me peace until I dark slid that Balboa Park. And you could really just go in at night, getting booted all the time. And at night, I remember it was chilly and dew starts sleeting in, and it was painted a little bit. And I'd slide. As soon as you get to dark side, it just whips out and like that. You just go right to your tail, right?
Yeah.
And I was
It's
like,
like
oh,
yeah.
it sucks. And you had to like jump around this big kind of pillar and spray mount that night.
What the hell?
I remember just a touch of spray mount. You know that spray
What's
glue?
spray mount?
Yeah, what's
spray
that?
glue that artists use to
Oh.
put stuff.
Oh, so it's sticky.
And I just
Spray
touched it a
mount,
little
yeah,
bit,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it just gave me that little bite where I got over it. Yeah, because I had to pitch it out so far. Anyway, point being.
Was that on the obstacle?
Yeah, I put it on the right, like this much on the ledge.
And that's
you know?
that's the time you
And
made
that's
it.
when I made it, like 3
Yeah.
tries later. Yeah.
Yo,
Cheater.
Yeah.
respect. Yeah, people.
So anti-grip. I want to hear the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how's your cheating?
But we get
Yeah, everybody has
I
to
really,
check. Come on.
yeah, it would, yeah, no. There's so many topics here. It's like, which one are we grabbing from?
Yeah, get to the cheat.
Anti-wax. So I was skating this spot. Somebody was doing a roof gap there. I don't know what school it is in like Palos Verdes or something. And I think John Bradford was trying to do this roof gap. And then I was bored, so I went around the back, and then I did that board slide up the corner thing. And there was like a bunch of spots at this one school, and a bunch of like 20 rails. Like there was there was a few giant rails that were like pretty feasible, right? But then there's this one rail that was just not feasible. It's 16 kink corner, like 45-degree corner, and then 26. So it's like Hollywood 16, kink 45, and then bigger than El Toro, right? Like it's just like, and I love walking on rails. So I got a lot of advice from a sword fighter back in
Yeah,
Vancouver.
he said walking on rails. He loves it.
I love it so much. Chains, rails. But this sword fighter, he used to walk on railings too. And that's why I ask you about inspiration from other things. Because this sword fighter is like, he was like, you're not frontside ollieing, right? And I'm like, do you skate? He's like, no, but but he could see momentum and how like
He understood
momentum
movement.
flows. Yeah. And he understood that stuff. He was like, your feet need to be like you've never stepped on a board. How are you how are you giving me perfect advice right now? And he taught me a lot, you know? But he was walking on rails and I was walking on rails. I wanted to walk down this whole rail. And we're filming a silly YouTube video with Nigel. Nigel filmed pretty much my whole video, the crazy wisdom part.
Man, the bond you get from with filmers.
Oh man, dude.
yeah,
me-
it's nothing like it.
There's nothing
Yeah.
like it. And like
Socrates for me.
Yeah. Oh man, I hear you talk about Socrates, and I always thought it was like actually Socrates.
Oh my gosh. She goes, you know how hard it is to grow up? Did you grow up like that?
Yeah, how do you know that? No,
Man, I'm glad he said that because the whole time I was thinking that too.
yeah, I'm like, what is going on? So, dude, okay. So, anyways, I walked down
guys
this
both
rail. I'm
lose
all
in skate
super
trivia.
stoked, and we took a photo at the bottom, like, Andy just did this rail, right? And then Clive Dixon hits up Nigel and is like, there's no way he just did that rail. Like, it was like a kind of.
So it almost came from a joke.
It came from a joke.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was like, from then on, it was like, okay, I need to figure out how to do this rail.
Yeah.
But you can't hit Hollywood 16 and like not be flying really fast, you know? So we got to figure out how to slow it down. And Gorilla Tape is like my go-to for anything. Like I made like a duct tape backpack and everything when I was a kid. Like duct tape wallet kid. Like I'm that weirdo with duct tape. I love duct tape.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You
Gorilla
should
Tape.
sell like vests and stuff.
Oh yeah, I got duct tape patch on this. Where is it? Right there. Yeah, duct tape. The red sticker. Anyway, duct tape life.
You did
So-
not just say duct tape life.
It's like a gang tattoo.
Duct tape life. Yeah, like with no hair. I think.
Hey,
Just got
you
a
know about that
rectangle with no
black
hair.
I guess I'm not, all right?
I'll take it. It wasn't there, but I took it.
Goodness,
But
Back to the rail.
yeah, so
not
then
where I thought this would go.
I was like, I was scared. I was really scared because like, it's one of those rails that you could like die on, and then there's only a few rails like that call to me. I have to wait for the spot to be like, yo, like,
Yeah.
this is the spot. Like Long Beach Convention Center rail, that rail was like, I'm the rail. And then later I found out that's the rail that Frankie Hill ends his video part on,
Wow.
and I was like, oh, Powell family.
Wow.
Anyways, so
Family. Dude, we got that. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that. That's crazy.
yeah, Powell.
Did you call Stacy? I'm still tripping out. Okay, back to the.
I love Stacy. So I put
Don't we all?
a layer of Gorilla on it, and I was still going too fast. So I put another layer, still too fast, another layer. Like it was like 8 layers, and I'm like, dude, this isn't gonna work. Like I gotta think of something else. I need to think of a squishy
Yeah.
surface to put under it. So then I went to Home Depot, and I was trying all these different things, and like the best thing I could find was like an Everlast mat, like an exercise mat. And I was testing them all out on the Venice skate park handrail. They got like a 4-block. It's like an 8-stair, and it's really low to get on. And dude, that I call it the super rail. I used to call it the slow grind, but it's too humble because it was fast as fuck by the end of it. But the super rail or whatever, the run up is terrible. It's a 45-degree angle run up, and it's uphill. So you have to like fully throw down and then take a corner, and you're going fast to get onto the rail. So I had to like, these videos will come out eventually. Like Nigel's got all my practice stuff at Venice skate park, like just going at the weirdest angle, trying to hop onto this rail onto the various surfaces. Like we tried carpet. Carpet was really fast.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, carpet was really fast.
Slick,
Like it
good.
almost felt like it wasn't there. Tried a bunch of different things, but the Everlast mat was working the best, but it would tear like your truck would go into it and it would stretch out and tear. And I was like, oh, I just spent all this money on these random materials, and this is the best one, but it stretches. What doesn't stretch? Yoga mats don't stretch. So they squish, but they don't stretch. So then the yoga mat, and you can't grind a yoga mat, so you had to cover it with the Gorilla Tape, dude. The duct tape comes back in. So it's yoga mat with the duct tape, and I'm like, this is it. But I had to leave a chunk at the end without the thing, because obviously it's not going to be the whole rail. You need enough speed to carry you through the corner. Why am I talking so fast? But we got it. So
A lot of layers.
dude. And then dude, I'm like
You're
out
welcome.
of breath, dude. Okay.
Dad jokes.
Yeah,
But,
no,
Grandpa jokes.
yeah, okay.
I w- with one layer of yoga mat, with no wax, it was working, but it was like really shaky. And then you hit the metal and you
Oh, wow.
like fly off.
Yeah.
And that was good enough for me, I thought. So I went to the spot, and I was so devastated that it wasn't working still. Like, maybe it could have worked, but my goal was I wanted it to be too slow and then speed it up.
Yeah.
because like I really want to figure out how to slow down rails, because I want to be like Nadas, man. Like Nadas board slid a rail. He didn't even land it in that contest in '86, and he just changed the whole fucking planet with that, dude. Like that's wild. And I know, like when you're a little kid, you see like some 400 stair handrail, and you're like, oh, like what's that movie where the guy does it? Anyways, doesn't even matter. But I wanted my video part to have like trick innovation and obstacle innovation and filming innovate, like just and release, and like I just wanted every aspect of it to be contributing somehow, you know.
What a great word, to contribute.
Yeah, to contribute, right? Because like when people can see that you can do that, then
Opens doors.
it opens doors, right? And then when you open doors, then people can walk new places that I'm not gonna walk, but like they can, you know. And that's kind of sick. So I figured out with 2 layers of yoga mat and Gorilla Tape. It was actually the yoga mat I bought in Australia when I was training for the Olympics, and I had it in my room, so I didn't need any materials that were outside of what I already owned.
Sorry, dude. I get that, pick up on that, Australia. But that spirit that you have, so everyone could do this is the spirit that you exude. It comes out in every small way that makes you so distinctive and special. You contribute so much, not by just what you do, but by who you are, truly.
Thanks, Ron.
Really. Yeah, what a pleasure to be sitting next to you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well said, Rodney.
Thanks.
I'm never going down that handrail, but
I was gonna say
you are
it
very
opens up
inspirational.
to people
Outdoors
to admire.
are locked.
But two layers of yoga mat, and
Yeah, there
then
you
the
go.
Gorilla Tape, and then it was too slow, so then I needed to wax the shit out of it. Yeah.
Yoga mat, Gorilla Tape, then wax,
No, yoga mat, Gorilla Tape, yoga mat, Gorilla Tape,
and then wax.
then wax. Specifically skate
That's
sauce.
what we're not doing right.
Dude,
Oh man, I missed that. I missed the 4th layer.
That's what it was.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah. I'd probably do Cholitos every time if I had
Right. That's
the yoga, then the Gorilla.
now you've opened up to everyone.
Right.
but
Thank
I was
you.
hyped that I finally found something that was too slow because everything was too fast. Like when you're at like a whatever degree handrails are
honestly,
at.
Andy, I love that you did that. It's incredible. I can't relate.
But you did the
I
tail
can't even
block on it.
fathom. Like
Yes, you
2
can.
different speeds
Yes,
of
you
grinding.
can. Yes, you can. Remember the first time you ever did the loop?
That is a great
Sure,
point.
yes.
Remember how you built the loop, and then when you did it, you're like, "This is not the way the loop
Yeah,
should
yeah,
be."
sure.
And then you built another
Yeah,
loop.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about the actual.
Thank you.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's
dude.
right.
It's not the
That's
same
why
thing.
you guys
That's
are
way
gods
cooler.
among men.
But yeah,
Right, well,
loop,
thank you, but
dude.
I
He's
still
You
can't
are.
upside
imagine
down awareness,
trying to-
dude.
And then I
Upside
did the
down
loop
awareness.
Upside
Just that like
down awareness.
anti-pump. Like, how does that work? You
Yeah,
know?
because you did
you gotta like
700
just
different.
freeze.
Yeah, totally.
Stick man, I've heard about it. I'm not experimenting.
Totally. I don't expect
Yeah,
to experiment anytime soon.
But you could probably nose manual it. Nose manual the loop.
Oh, yeah.
Be the first.
Let's leave it back over there.
Oh yeah.
Wait, we're talking to the
You'll like this.
the loop couch.
I
We're on the loop couch again.
Yeah, I'm looping out over
Right.
here.
yeah, we're loop couch. Then we do dark slide couch, loop couch, and then we do. It's cool.
Hey,
My
Dark
neck still
slide
hurts.
loop, dude. People have been doing street loops recently.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
like finding
It's
loops in the
absurd. I
street,
know.
like little time.
Oh,
Like,
the little yeah.
like how do you even find like not the DIY ones, but like I've seen someone find a spot that was a loop, and they
No
did,
way.
yeah, and it was like it's like raw
Yeah, little
street.
ones, Rodney.
Like
And-
what's the height? Like, you mean like,
Stevie did
Like
it the other
6
day.
feet.
Yeah. You don't go upside down.
I
No,
see,
no, no.
but-
I'm talking about. He's talking about upside down. One.
Upside down, and
Yeah.
Kevin Kowalski did a loop
Yeah.
in a full pipe.
In a full pipe.
without
Yeah.
the run up. He
Yeah.
did whoop,
Oh
whoop,
man,
whoop,
I hate you
whoop.
guys. I gotta find all this footage.
He said it.
I
And
know.
His
I
head
said you
stays in the
guys.
center.
Okay.
They did a long exposure.
oh, insane. They did a long exposure so you see it.
Yeah, so you see that
Looks like a clock hand.
Yeah, dude. It's insane, dude.
Well, Burnquist, like way back, right?
Baldy.
Mount Baldy or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baldy.
he did the same. Wow.
The wild thing about that, having loop experience, is that
Having
if you're in a full pipe, how to find the direct line and not
I
carve too
can't
much
even
because you just
imagine.
don't. You have no point of reference.
Is that why you have the line on there?
The line saves you.
Yeah. But I'm saying on a full pipe,
Oh, there's no line.
even if
Yeah.
there is a line, you're gonna still get
Yeah, because you come into it from an angle.
You're gonna
the loop that he made after many trials and error, where when I did it, he was like, follow the line, because that's for me backflip on a skateboard, because I'm a vert guy. When I get to upside down, I look to the left or to the right because I'm coming back down where I came from. So the first time I ever went in the loop, or the first time I ever did a backflip, I went upside down and then I
Half
look
turn.
like that and I start to do a 180
You do like
in
a
the
rodeo.
backflip. Yeah, you do a rodeo.
Yeah.
So in the loop with the line, he was like, just watch the line. So because you panic and you want to help. You look for help on left or right. Where you're like, I'm upside down, help. But you got to, no, the line. And then it took me a while. I slammed a lot, but
it's a lesson
it
for
was
life.
a pump. It's pump
Lesson
up
for life.
and pump down, and don't take your eyes off the line. And then when you do it, you're like, oh man.
It is
that hard.
absurdly easy when you do it once.
It's kind of crazy.
Like when you finally do it, you're like, that's really all it took.
Versus any other, like a backslide air, doing the loop is easier than a backslide air.
Don't get me wrong. It can be deadly.
If you do it wrong, it's
When
way
you
worse.
do it wrong, but when you do it, you're like, that's all? Really?
Yeah. Like the
And
actual
then you get
physical
cocky and then you
ability
die.
to do it is
Yeah, or you just
super
have a
easy.
bad day.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's two pumps.
Bad day, breaks
That's
his
it.
pelvis.
Pump,
But I was
pump.
gonna tell you, Andy. I wanted to tell him before I forget that I had the privilege of having a full snake run mini bowl session with Rodney at Pomona Pipe and Pool, where all we did was skate the mini bowl at the end for like an hour.
Pomona Pipe?
Pomona Pipe and Pool was a skate park. It was kind of near. It was in the Upland days. It closed before Upland.
But you skated it? A snake run? Little bowl?
Little balls.
You do chuck stands on the coping?
No, he did
Anti-wax?
He did fully extended stalled inverts
Oh, man.
at the end of the bowl.
Of course he did. Dude.
Yeah, and I remember thinking like, to us that was just what we did, right? It was like a
Yes.
mini bowl,
Oh.
and then I remember in later years thinking, man, I really did I had an invert session with Rodney in a pool.
That's the biggest
Like, I am
bragging
the
rights
only
I've
person
ever
that can
heard.
claim that.
Yeah, that's pretty. So I that brings me to a question for you, actually. So I feel like you I don't know if this is the right word, but like transcended contests. Like you're like I don't know what that word is, but just in time for videos, right? And then with videos, that opens up this thing where you don't need the consistency, so you can try things that are like so much harder than what you could prepare for a contest. And like achieve, like your limit becomes your physical capabilities at that point. But like, did you transcend videos? Like, is transcending videos just skating alone at night? Like, is that, and like, how many tricks have you invented that you haven't told us about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, does it get to that point where you're just like, man, if I contribute any more, like, people aren't gonna know that, like, people are gonna think that like, that they're like, I gotta let them think that they're inventing stuff, and then you just watch from the corners, and you're just like,
how cute.
man,
How cute of you to do that.
like, dude, does it feel like you watch current skating and you're just like, I got this from Val's roommate, but it's like, you feel like Beethoven listening to pop music, like, are you you're just like classical. Anyways, there was layered things in there. I had too many.
Dude, thank you.
But dude, I swear to God, like, there's no way you never figured out the dark slide to switch 5-0. You know what I mean? Like, you have that, and like, you didn't film it. See, you let me think that I have it first, dude. What? Like, that's so nice of you.
Dude, are you kidding? I will tell you. That was
Wait, is that
something
true? You did that?
on World Park back in those days.
Oh my God.
I remember flicking it to catch there
Yeah.
on Axel, and then of course Shinners, right? And I remember like, oh, and I never went back. I never made it, but I will tell you, watching, because this goes to your further question, that I never did it. But of course, it's begging to be done. I know that, you know?
Yeah, of
It's
course.
begging.
Yeah,
and when you
said
flick it and you catch it above and you're like, wait a second,
Yeah,
right?
it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there, begging.
Yeah.
But when you did it, because I remember, Tony, that's when you text me. You're like, and Tony was giving you his biggest compliments, right? That's when I ended up texting you.
Yeah,
and so
don't tell
Tony
me
hit
that.
me after hanging out with you, and he's like, dude, this guy, and have you seen his part? And I'm like, oh, I was at my computer. And I just watched it, turned it up. And when you did that and the look on your face, it was like, oh, whoa, that is awesome. You not only did it for like, for the feelings I was having of like, oh, that's an idea. That came from like little bits of where I came. And of course, that came from Portland, Arkansas. And that came, right?
Yeah.
We're all kind of into that, right? In some way, shape, form, we're all together. And when you did that and that look on your face and knowing that feeling so well and knowing all the little things that go wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that felt awesome. I was so fired up. Anyway, I hope that gets to your point of a little bit of how do I feel now? It's quite the opposite of you taking things further than we ever could have and integrating stuff that they do that I can't relate to at all, and you doing it all at once. You know?
But you did the hand plant session, like like people don't know that. Like you gotta have like tricks that you like aren't filming because you think people are gonna feel bad or something.
No, it's not like that. Anyway, I just
Thanks, Rodney.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate you leaving Easter eggs for us skaters. Like that's awesome, dude. That's so cool. Like he did the I don't know. Like I probably talked about it last time, but he did a trick tutorial on dark slides, and he's like, I want to do this one, but you'll see it in the next video. And it was never in the next video, and you're like, there's no way you didn't do that. Anyway.
Oh, you mean the one that you did?
The dark slide to switch 5-0.
Okay, yeah.
So he like left that Easter egg.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
For like someone to pick up, dude. Like that's even better than landing the trick.
Yeah. No,
like,
he left it only for you.
No, dude, it's for
Yes,
everybody who's
but he
explored
left
there.
it for him, and then he did it, and then there's a next because of your video part. That's the thing that when you first came on the show and I watched your video where I was like, these are not for me, but these are opening up doors where skateboarding gets it stuck in ruts sometimes, gets stuck in the cool, where everyone's doing this one trick this way, so everybody does it that way, and it's like, what if I do it a completely opposite way and do something at the end of it that nobody else does? Well, that ain't cool. That's not what we're doing. Fuck that. Like, doing your video part, I know there's some street dudes out there that are like, I don't like the way that guy does that.
100%.
I'm a vert dude, but I know that there's a bunch of people out there that have that feeling because I was that guy on vert that used to talk like that. But now, like, just opening the doors and being like, like, bringing freestyle to street is, I would have said, dumbest idea ever. And then I saw your video part and was like, sickest idea ever. Everyone else is a fucking idiot. They should add this to this. They should add it to it.
Well, yeah,
like,
dude.
I wish there was a vert way of doing. I mean, there kind of is. There will be dark sides on vert. There will be. It's just gonna happen.
We've seen it try.
Haslam, man.
We've seen it.
Yeah, I've
attempted.
seen it.
Which means it's gonna.
Haslam
Oh wait.
is something beautiful.
Jake, right? Jake used to try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him trying that at Sluggo's
Yeah.
birthday
What about?
party when
Is
I was
it
a little kid.
the guy that had the long hair that
he
cut his
spent
hair?
the whole birthday party just trying dark slides.
Back
Reese, no.
then,
Yeah. No, that was probably like 10 years ago. Yeah.
well,
10,
that's a
12
while
years.
ago. Yeah. Wow.
The guy that does the fakey caballeros.
It's so
and stuff.
cool to see.
The
I
pop
was
shot,
like,
the shove it guy.
Oh, Reef.
Yeah, there's this dude Reef that does backside Smith, shove it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
He doesn't know it right now, but if you're listening, you have that.
He's the dark slide.
He can
he's
do the
chosen
dark
one for
side
dark
because I've
slides.
seen him shove it out and it's half flipped.
He can almost do ollie sevens.
I bet he could
He
learn.
has a
No way.
Yeah.
dude. He has a crazy cab late shove it thing that he has
Yeah, cab late shove.
in a way where
Alley-oop.
it's easy for him. He does it all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
He has it on lock.
Wow.
So he has that like late shove.
Are they super floaty or is
yeah,
it really?
yeah.
How, up there.
Yeah, I bet. I
Good
bet.
board control with like big frontside ollies. Like he has good ollie board control, like more, above average for sure. And he seems like the kind of guy that could be. He just has that.
If you get the
if you could
catch,
get it-
if you can scoop it up, like if you can get it up.
That might be the hot part.
Well, no, when you get it up, then you can catch it, right? It's just like a lot of dark slides. You get it and it falling down, and you're trying to land. Like when you can get it.
I need you guys to make a campaign encouragement video to him to do dark side.
I just did. Do it, pussy.
I think anything for him.
This one from you.
Hey, Reef, you got it.
Encourage I know where you live.
You got this.
Now I'm coming to his house if he doesn't do it. I know where you live, dude.
Dude, who invented the front crook? Was that you?
No,
Who
but
did
I
you see
remember
the-
falling in love.
But
yeah.
front crooks, dude. Like who was doing that?
I can't remember. I remember Shanny had good ones.
Shanny.
Oh,
Represent.
so stylish.
Dude,
and he
so-
skated vert.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Good, he was good
Yeah,
vert skater.
killed it.
Yeah,
Shanny, dude.
yeah,
He came out to Venice for a
It's a
9
deep
Club,
cut.
and I got to see him a bunch.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
amazing.
He was a monster.
That's so nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, he was the first person to get staph, where he had it on his elbow.
God damn.
And this is where.
I'm gonna dispute this, but go ahead.
Well, he wasn't the first person to have it. He was the person that had it where we all realized the severity of it.
Yeah, how bad it can be.
Yeah.
Because we were like, hey, you get an infection. Like, yeah, man, you got to watch it if you wear someone else's pads. Like, you could get it too. And I'm like, whatever. It's a
Yeah.
pimple. He got it, and he went to a movie theater and said he felt sick in the movie theater and came out, and there was a red line from the cut going
up his vein.
up his vein. And he went to the emergency room, and they were like, if you didn't come in the hour,
No.
it'd be over.
In the hour.
Yeah, because it was on his way to his heart.
Okay, so on that note, Pal Tour, Jesse Martinez. Little country kid, right? And then Jesse. And we ended up to be close, weirdly, like really close, still to this day. And I remember he was getting the same thing. He punched somebody, I guess, in the tooth.
Oh, yeah.
And it crawled up. I don't know the whole story, but that's the only other time I've heard about it crawling up and like, well, you lose your arm that way.
Because that will...
Yeah.
When we figured that out, I got so used to it that I knew it from a distance.
Yeah, it was an epidemic among vert skaters in the
Yeah.
90s to the point where they wrote an article about it in Transworld, in TWS. There was an article chasing Patient Zero. It was rough.
One time I was at a pool and there was a guy got in the pool, about to get in the pool, and I was like, "Hey, don't get in there with that." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "That thing on your arm, it's staph." He's like, "Nah, man, it's a spider bite." I'm like,
everyone
"It's
says it's a
staph,
spider
dude."
bite.
Such bullshit.
And I'm like, "You need to go to the emergency room right now." The dude comes back and goes, "Hey, man, yeah, you were right. The doctor said," and I was like, "Yeah, don't go in this pool," because I was like, "You put your foot in, you get in, I get out."
Yeah.
That's how serious I am about what that was. And he was 8 feet away. I saw it. I was like, staph, don't put that in the pool. I'm out, because that's how many people I had around me that had it.
It kept coming back around. Katie got it when she was like 6 months old. My daughter.
That's
in her
scary.
hip. It was terrible. It was terrible. They had to cut it
Wait
out.
a second, because it was in the
It was just
bloodstream?
around our household.
was in
'cause
his pads?
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't putting my pads on, but it was pervasive at the time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's terrible.
god.
Anyway, I digress.
Damn, that's like a weird side tunnel of skateboard history right there.
Skate doctors, man.
That's like, yeah.
I had it right on my belt line one time, and it just kept. And I was trying to. I was in denial in the sense that I'll keep covering it with Neosporin. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, yes.
And I was snowboarding, and it just kept hurting. I couldn't sit on the lift, and
just
I
let it get
did. I
that
did one
bad.
of those jumps. It came up short, and bounced on my butt, and it exploded. It felt like a water balloon exploded in my pants.
I didn't think you'd be the most disgusting person on the podcast.
And then I had to go. You know how they have the little triage like hospitals at the mountains. I had to go to that, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, that's a staph infection, but
hazmat
it's
team.
out there now."
Yeah, for sure.
What mountain was that? Because I'm not going there ever again.
That was Colorado.
Oh
It's
my
got your staff on
God.
it.
That was Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
Far out.
Okay.
Fun stories.
I gotta digress, regress. I don't know, but you guys are all those Shaolin monks, like they're so fucking sick and inspiring, and they have this one move where they like, there's one practice you can choose where you with like the monkey staff or whatever. It's like just a big stick, and they have all these different tricks with it. But there's one move called monkey climbing up the tree, and it's literally a truck stand.
Huh.
And like they just have the stick and they run up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they go like that.
I've seen
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then they of course you have, right? I'm like, have you like? Did you see that before you started doing truck stands?
That is a legit question. Answer truthfully. Are you a monk?
Did you steal that
Are you a
trick?
Shaolin monk? Rodney Mullen.
Did you steal that trick from Bruce Lee?
Answer the question. You got him, dude. This whole time he's been bullshitting us. He's a Shaolin monk. Now it all adds up. What are you?
Yeah. 50-50 Casper. Sure, buddy. We know who's to credit.
Yeah, we figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a farce, Rodney. You figured it out.
He's an escaped
all a lie.
Shaolin monk.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it to the masses.
You're not skating.
in the form of a skateboard.
But yeah, right?
Yeah. No, you figured it out, dude. Well done.
Yeah. It's my conspiracy theory. I don't think
got it.
anybody else has it, but
That's a good one. I like that one. That one makes me.
No, Rodney, did you
warm.
practice any other balancing moves?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
You
All
guys are the
skaters,
same.
yeah.
You guys got good at skateboarding because you skateboarded. Like there was no. You skated
felt
more.
it felt like in our day, nothing was going to help.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Nothing else comes close to what we're doing. Nothing else can translate. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, because you were before other people. Things are a part of everything now. Like action sports, like moto dudes are being skateboarders. BMX dudes they were being skateboarders. Everyone's bitten a piece of this other thing that was the original. And I prove me wrong, but skateboarding is the original. You know, you got your team sports, they're great. I ain't talking shit. But skateboarding was this thing where there were certain people like you guys, your era, where you were like, I am on this. It's me and this skateboard all day, all non-stop. Because I was from it. I skated by myself. I made half pipes out of my mashed potatoes. I did not hear anything anyone was saying. I only thought skateboarding. And then when I met you guys, I was like, oh, there's people that think about it more than me. That's crazy. You skateboarded so much. Like we did the kickflip where you accidentally did it. You bailed an ollie and the board twisted and you went, That's because you've done billions of ollies. And one of them did a flip. If you hadn't done if you had done 1,000, it wouldn't have flipped like that and you wouldn't have got the idea. It's because you did it more than people understand what it takes to be good at something, to master something. People think, yeah, you train, you lift some weights, and eventually you get it. No, there's an obsession where it's all day non-stop. Like, you skating at your age in the middle of the night, still to me, dude, like, I think I'm tough. I know tough people. When Tony first told me about you skating in England in the rain by yourself, to me, I'm like, I think John Wick.
That was before he had hip replacements.
Right. I think John Wick is awesome and it's a movie. You are John Wick. You are skating by yourself in the night and you're like the kickflip when you watch the rain go off the side. I'm like, oh my God, that is the sickest story known to man. There's no sicker story than that.
Yeah, the water.
I want to do a kickflip where I can see anything but help. That's all I'm thinking when the board's flipping. Ah! That's what I say in my brain when the board does a kickflip. Ah! And then if I land, I go, yeah! There was no slow-mo. I didn't see anything moving. Shoelaces in the wind. Like, get out of here.
Shoelaces
I saw
in the
blood
wind.
squirting from my shin.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
That's sick.
Oh, he told me today he slammed on an alley backside Smith, and he said as he was falling, he looked up and saw his board and was like, really? And
Yeah,
I'm
my
like,
board was still hung up, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
but do you know how
And,
cool?
and I'm in the air, like, and I'm still going to, there's still impact to happen.
Do you know how cool that is? Like, you're on
It
your
is
way
so lame.
down, dude,
not
like
cool.
down, and you have the thought of,
Not
really?
cool, man.
Yeah, it was. Like, how dare you?
Like, everyone
And that
else would
wasn't
just be like, panic, like, shock.
That-
No, you wouldn't even be able to tell me what you were thinking on your way down. He had, really?
Such clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity.
Yeah, because it
But also, like,
slows down.
that wasn't even part of the line. Like, that was just to get from here to the other side as a little, like, woo, yeah, I made my line. And like, God, this sucks. And then, boom.
Yeah.
And then it came down after me. Like, just
Like
more
drilled you?
literal insult to injury.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, like,
insult to
yeah.
injury.
I do the
Taught you.
tricks, not you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's funny. It's stupid, but it's kickflip stuff. I think it was 4 nights ago or 3 nights ago. Skating in my usual spot on the other side of the freeway, off wherever, and
Yeah, keep that a secret.
yeah, thank you. And cops patrol there, because it's iffy, and but that's what makes it cool, And cop rolls up, not the first time, and in fact, it was the second time.
Same cop?
No, definitely a different cop. Not a sense of humor. And so he rolls up and he's like, can you do a kickflip? And
Yeah, wow. Asking you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, dude. Whoa.
And I'm just
Not for you.
honestly. And I'm like, and I chuckled.
I invented it, you douche. That's what I would have said. Sorry.
That's what he would have said.
Yeah.
There was a struggle because I'm like, I can't, or I could, or what is the right thing today? Because I chuckled at the thought.
Yeah.
I genuinely, my body language. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in the moment.
Yeah, it's insane.
And he's kind of like, oh, what's so funny type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, what is the right answer here? You don't want to be boastful, but you have to be honest. But how am I going to do this? And TikTok. And I'm like, I kind of had something to do with making that up. And the look he had was, okay, you're crazy. Like everything about it. Understandably, they're not to believe people, but that completely turned him against me.
Oh,
And so
my
then come
God.
to, what are you doing here? Where do you live? All the stuff, right? And I'm like, oh, shoot, wrong answer. But it was one of those things because I was always kind of laughing. I think he thought I was mocking him.
You're supposed to
And-
lie.
Was one of your choices going to be here you go, here's the kickflip?
You know, I honestly, you're so caught in the moment. I'm such a dummy. Perhaps I should have just done it. But my
But no.
first
No,
I don't
reaction
think
was
so,
just
but
kind
I'm
of
wondering if-
giggling of like,
yeah.
I can't believe I'm at this phase. It's 2 in the morning, you know?
That is
And,
crazy.
And then finally it ended with, have you ever been arrested? And I'm like, oh, man.
For doing kickflips.
Maybe you're about to be arrested for doing one.
would have done it.
You're about to be arrested for not doing one. It
Yeah,
looks like.
so it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, sir, like, no. And he just sped off. But it's just, it's crazy.
Oh, so you
And-
got to the lie
I
eventually.
mean, that's going to be
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah, got to rid of it.
You know, that's like someone coming up to you and you're like at 2:00 in the morning. You're hanging out at a vert ramp which is probably for sure something you would do. And they go, "Hey man, can you do a 900?" I mean, this is obviously when you were younger.
Yeah.
So much fun. And you can be like, "Actually, dickhead, I invented it."
And then you get cuffed.
But he has, yeah. But you're.
No, that
That's
was
why
that,
you're
that's,
you. But that is, first of all, I'm laughing hysterically if I'm you, because it's. Some of us don't even know that you invented it because it's been done by
I'm
the
curious.
name change, like how you called it an Ollie Impossible, correct?
Oh,
Magic
magic
flip.
flips.
It was a
terrible name. Thank goodness, kickflips. But yeah, magic flips. Because back then, remember, we had
Other
hook
people
flip.
called it magic flips
Yeah.
because we couldn't figure out how he flipped it.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
had
that's
the
what it was.
kickflip already, right? Kickflip was
Yeah,
already a
kickflips
trick.
go way back. in
Yeah,
the 70s.
the OG
Yeah,
kickflip
yeah.
is when you hook your
Yeah, you put
toe.
your toe underneath,
Yeah,
right?
parallel, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and they called that a kickflip.
Yeah.
That was the original kickflip.
that was
yeah.
the kickflip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but when you did it, you called it a what?
I
we
really didn't
called
call
it
it
magic
anything,
flip.
but it ended up being called.
So you just did it, and you were like, "Look at this thing I do," and they were like, "Whoa!"
It was, but it became
all.
Ollie kickflip.
Oh,
And then it was Ollie kickflip.
Ollie kickflip was the actual name.
Oh,
of it.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that does
Yeah.
add up. Yeah.
But I wonder what would have happened if you just said yes.
Yeah, and just done it.
well, you would
No,
have.
not done it. Just said yes. Can you do a kickflip? Yes. Do one. No. Sick burn.
and then just skate off.
Not for you.
Do a heel flip.
Google me, asshole. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
I could do it. Handcuffed.
Yeah.
handcuffed.
Man, it'd be easy for me. I'd be like, no.
And then comes that.
But see that dude skating over there?
I'm getting
See
arrested
that
anyway.
dude skating over there in the street light all alone in the parking lot? He can. Go ask him.
Yeah. No, don't ask him. He's just gonna laugh at you.
Oh, man.
Man.
So,
Once again, the greatest story ever.
trick names? Like, how many tricks that you invented did you get to name? Like, I know you did the impossible, right? You named that one?
Maybe that's true. I have to think about that, but that makes sense. Yeah, because again, people are calling it, you know, and yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But
like,
never in the
trace it.
sense of like, oh, here it is, you know.
Yeah, well, it
was
has
just
to be
like, what are you gonna-
accepted,
yeah.
right? Like the Grosso grab became the roast beef,
That makes sense.
right? Because
Yeah.
he was like, oh, it's the Grosso grab,
Yeah.
and then everyone's like, called it the roast beef, and
Yeah.
like you can name it, but like it didn't
It
stick.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
But, like-
I tried to make the 720 be, because the McTwist is 540, I tried 720 to be a Mick Hawk.
Yeah.
Damn, that would have been sick. I'm gonna
No, it
call it
wouldn't
up
have
and
been.
down. McCock.
But I also thought it'd be really funny if people said it fast, like you did McCock.
Okay, now it's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
And then it just didn't stick. I was like,
Yeah.
damn it. Like,
How did
I
that
wanted
not
so bad.
stick?
What's that?
How did that not stick? Like Madonna stuck, Sean Penn
No
stuck.
one, but they just didn't like me, so it's just like, it's 720. Like, get over yourself.
Oh my god, dude, that's so
Yeah, it wasn't.
funny.
It was still He was still annoying.
What about the 900? That could be the McCock.
He was because he couldn't. No one else could do it.
What is it on Rocket Power? The Super McVarial 900?
Oh
You guys
man.
know that? No.
But when I was picturing, when he said like hanging out at 2 a.m. at your vert ramp, I just pictured you in Rocket Power. He was
Yeah.
all like dark.
Yeah,
and
just
shit.
like-
yeah, totally.
I've had almost exclusively solo sessions on my ramp in the last 2 weeks.
Not at 2.
No, at 9 a.m.
Yeah, I was gonna say grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's more like it.
Grandfather,
You could have a
dude,
nap.
you're a grandfather.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I have gone home and napped afterwards.
The world is so awesome.
If I work out the same day that I go skateboard, I actually go home and go to sleep.
It's fair.
Yeah.
For how long? You set an alarm,
Not
you
long,
wake up
no.
naturally.
No, I mean, no. There's too much stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to know. Keep that a mystery. How long your nap is, Powerhouse? You're good.
I want to know how long I should be
Excuse me.
napping for.
He asked.
You nap as long as you want. All
All
right.
right, thank you. Permission to nap?
But like Neil Blender was like not only invented tricks, but he invented hella names, right? Like he was
He
like,
invented tricks that he didn't actually perform. He
Yeah.
just threw out the ideas to people, including the ho-ho.
Yeah.
Because it did come from him, huh?
He created the idea of the ho-ho, and then Steve Schneer made it a reality.
Steve Schneer. I used to
Oh,
have a
that's
Steve
interesting.
Schneer.
He did it first. And he did it on Half Pipe first?
He did it He did it during the practice the night before of Chicago Blowout.
Crazy.
Because I had just left practice session, and I was outside, and we were waiting. I think we were waiting for Lance because we all, Bones Brigade, everyone's it's
Yeah.
one car, and then. I'm like, come on, Lance, what the hell? Like, we were done skating. And then we just hear this erupting cheer
Wow.
inside. And then, like, 10 minutes later, everyone comes out. And I remember Neil going by us. I'm like, what happened? He goes, Schneer! I'm like, what does that mean? And then Lance came by, and he goes, Schneer to ho.
Yeah.
Oh,
mean, if
my
you
Like,
s-
God.
what? And I missed it. Like,
If
yeah,
you
well,
see him
you
do
left.
handstands, you know why he did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sort of gymnast
He was a
style.
proper gymnast.
Okay, got
So
it.
he could walk around. He was one of those people that could stand on his hands and then look upside down at you.
Oh, yeah. I
So
got
it was
you.
like
ridiculous.
not a hard thing to
Yeah.
stand on his hands.
Yeah.
So it's not cheating.
You did, though. You did yo-yo plant to ho, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yo-yo
that's
plants,
one I
dude.
remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Is a
I mean,
yo-yo
I-
when
I-
you do a hand plant off the flat, right?
Yeah, you just
Fakey.
punch it up.
That was one of those things where, like, I don't know what video it was in, but you did mainly freestyle stuff, and that was where I was like, dude,
Yeah, no foot on the ground.
that's
No
so
foot on the ground, yeah.
impossible.
Like,
to
it's
me.
basically a fakey all like to street plant.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
got that from this German guy, Yo-Yo.
Yo-yo, yo-yo
And he would
Schultz.
just blast those things like nothing.
Oh, wow. There was a guy that did that
Yeah,
before.
Yeah,
that,
Yo-Yo
that's
plant.
his name, like he called himself. Yeah,
Yo-Yo Schultz.
Yeah, Yo-Yo Schultz. That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
Who's done it to drop in?
That is
You.
a good
You're
thought.
up.
Dude, I don't have
anyone?
my upside down awareness, but like, dude.
I used to do street plant to drop in, but not.
I used to do Andract in.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, from what?
From the deck.
Just standing on the
Like
deck.
standing.
Oh, you
and then
chilling,
Antrax.
and
So you just step
Yeah.
into
Because I used to
it.
try to stall Andrax, and I would bottle up and then go over the deck and then open up into a method air, and that would tilt me back in. And sometimes I would do it too late, and I would go back to my feet, and I was getting pissed because it happened like 4 times in a row. And I was just like, fuck it. And then I just jumped back onto my hand and Andracked back in. And then I had that down as like a little bit of a party trick, if you will. Like, or I would do, if I failed the Andract, I would just go back into an Andract in, and people would almost still.
But you had that pretty much on lock. You
Yeah,
could do that.
Yeah, I had it down.
That's
I've shattered my wrist, and I couldn't make my hand go back anymore.
wow.
But before that,
Is your wrist like that? now? Is
yeah,
that-
I did that one. I shattered it,
Whoa.
and it won't go back. I used to be able to stand on my hands for a long time, and then when because I snapped my wrist and it turned around and broke all the bones in my hand. I got knocked out at the same time, and I woke up with
Skating,
my
or?
yeah.
Was Tony there? Like,
He's
No.
laughing. Yeah.
Hey, you know where you are? You know where you are? You know which way your hand's facing? He's facing the wrong way.
It was in Rhode Island ESPN contest, and I qualified in the street contest. And I remember Musker was like, "Dude, you made a top 10." I was like, "No way!" And then in the vert contest, I had a ride where I was like, I'm going to win. This is going to be the first time I win a pro contest. And I had tail grab 5 and backside 5 in one run. I was like, I think there was, the bigger he wasn't there, I was going to win. And in my qualifying ride, I over-rotated on a tail grab 540 and broke my wrist, and it span around up behind me, and I hit my head and got knocked out. So I woke up, and I was like, where am I? And then I was like, ow! Like,
Wow.
that really hurts.
Wow.
And that's when
The bones rubbed together.
Yeah, and the medic were trying to get me to go in an ambulance, and I was just like, I hit my head. I didn't understand. I was like, no, I'm going to win this contest. So I went under the ramp and duct tape. I screamed. I grabbed a roll of duct tape and just screamed. Went, ah!
This is like a movie.
And made a cast out of it. And then I got up on the deck. I remember, I think it was Fraser, where I was pacing on the deck. My face was gray. And I was like, I just didn't understand that my hand wasn't going to work. I was like, I'm still going to do my ride. I'm going to win. This is the only time I'm going to... There was never another time where I was like, I'm going to win a contest. This one, I was like, you make your ride, you're going to win.
Wow.
And you could just say that for the rest of your life. And then I dropped in. And as I dropped in, I realized you can't use your hand.
Yeah.
So then I did a backside 540. And whatever I was going to do with this hand, I did it with the other hand. And then I did a lip slide. And when I came in on the lip slide, my hand went over me like that.
Oh,
and it went...
Yeah.
And it just, all these bones, they made this crazy sound. And my legs just gave out. And I slid onto the ground. I was like, okay, I'll go. And they took me to a hospital. And they thought it was dislocated. So they put the metal sock things on my fingers and put a weight on my bicep. And they're pushing on it, and they've got me on morphine.
And the edges of the bones are rubbing together the whole time.
And then a nurse comes in and goes, "Stop pulling on it! Stop pulling on it! We got the X-rays back." Like his hand's broken, his wrist is upside down, and I was high, so I was like, "Yeah, you dickheads!" You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my god!
and then they gave me a half cast because I had to go to Santa Barbara to go see a hand surgeon. And I remember my team manager, Michael Furukawa. He's a sweetheart. And it wouldn't give me my painkillers unless I went back to the hotel room. And I was like, nah. And I went to a bar and got wasted and woke up in the morning in someone's house. Just do. And I was like, oh, I gotta find painkillers.
Michael.
Yeah.
Michael.
Knocking on
Michael
his
rules.
Please help. Give me painkillers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then that was as close as I ever got.
Hey, that reminds me, Michael Furcal, we've all been on the Bones Brigade.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love that.
That's right. And Michael rules.
Lifer.
Michael Furukawa.
No,
I'm
you're
like,
a lifer on the Bones Brigade.
oh,
Just
what?
kidding.
What? But Michael is like works for Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's two Michael.
Totally.
I was like,
Same
the
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
that guy's the
He used
best.
to come past my
Bones
room
Brigade.
and watch me. So
He's
I
the
didn't
best.
leave my
He's the
room
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
because he knew. He was like, "You're good, dude. If you just stay." And I just had this demon that wanted to run. You know, I was like, "Yeah, I could be good at the contest." But that's the thing
Maybe
that you
Michael is that good voice that you hear now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It
Yeah,
does
we-
sound very wise,
Yeah.
and he always sounded very
Yeah, there
wise.
you
He
go.
Yeah, he
is
does have
so
wisdom.
wise, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't
He was
talk
such a
unless it's like,
kind-hearted man
That is
to
a
me.
great point.
you know, like he'll like watch there and then like he comes in with like the freaking wisdom.
Always had time for me, and sometimes I did not deserve it, and he was always like, "We can work it out," and I was like, "You probably shouldn't."
He never gave up, though.
I was stupid a lot.
Powell.
I love that dude.
All right, so what is next for you guys?
Yeah, I guess
Individually
it's a good
or,
question.
or collaboratively, either one.
You go first.
Let's do it collaboratively. We're going to no,
Can you get some yoga mats?
yeah, no, I don't know, man. Actually, could someone else talk for a while so I could think about it? No, but yeah.
I go a little bit of travel right away and come back and I'm shooting a few tricks. First time in forever.
Wait, on video.
Yeah.
With Sock?
Exclusive.
No, it's
you
so
heard that
funny.
here
Yeah,
first.
Yeah. And cool. So I got a few.
Well, I'm trying to
and-
get.
I know.
Trying to make
I
it hype.
pumped your pump, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, just shooting a few tricks.
amazing.
And
Unreal.
so I'll come back, finish those. And so at the same time, I got couple of kind of weird, you know, kind of the nerd stuff that I do, you know? And so I kind of have a heavier stuff lately with that stuff.
What, filming tricks isn't nerd stuff?
Yeah, you know what? I love that. Right on, it is. Yeah,
No,
yeah, I
he's
treat
talking
it that way.
like theoretical physics,
Yeah,
and science
so-
and stuff. But
Yeah.
Socrates.
like literal Socrates,
Sorry to keep
not
interrupting,
just the
Rodney.
filmer.
Yeah.
And really, dude, I just leave a good balanced life. Those are the next little projects.
Yeah,
yeah,
you do.
Yeah,
I can attest.
thank you.
Yeah.
You got the crazy life. I don't know how you keep up.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a blast. It's amazing. It's hectic. Like today.
Yep.
You hold it together like it's unreal, man.
Oh, thank you. I try. I mean, I try to balance it. It definitely is. It can be draining, but
From such
I
crazy
can't complain. I
different
mean, when I look around, what the stuff I could do, this is how could I say no?
Dude,
But it's not about me. What's next for you?
Now I want to know what's
I'm
next
going
for
to the
him.
comedy store right now to go do Adam Ray's thing.
I'm going to the comedy store right now to do a set.
Let's go to the comedy
I'll race
store.
I'm going to go on Adam Ray's thing.
Well, I'm upstairs doing new material and Whitney.
All right, don't
Whitney
talk shit
Cummings.
about me because I'm right next to you.
I am
God, that's
now.
insane. That's a
That's
whole
wild.
other world.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that surprising because it's some of the same circles, but and I got connected through you guys. So anyway, go ahead.
So my next big step is like the Olympics officially sportified skateboarding.
Huh.
Right? It did. It's like is skateboarding a sport?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
competitive
okay.
skateboarding is definitely a sport.
Yep.
But like, what is non-competitive skateboarding?
Yeah.
And I argue that it's art,
Yeah. I would.
It is.
and I'm trying to help skateboarding be seen as art. And Olympics proved that it could be seen as a sport.
Yeah.
And like, how do we? Like, I don't know. I'm doing it in the lo-fi way that I can, and it's available to me. But like, how do we show that skateboarding is an art? Like, 'cause-
Keep breathing, dude, because you're doing it.
Yeah.
but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like basketball, a lot of these things, if you're not playing the game to win, are you even playing basketball? You're just practicing. But like in skateboarding, if you're not skating to win, it feels even more like skateboarding.
You know, I will say, so this was crazy for me. It scared me to death. I spoke at the Royal Institution in London
Of course you did.
a month or so ago.
Yeah.
People before the last was like won a Nobel Prize. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it's this obviously old building, right? They're Faraday, Davies, right? Like, and these are heroes when I was a kid. Like that was what I wanted to do. And so here I am. And upstairs, there's a whole bunch of skaters, but then some serious horsepower of the scientists. And the lady, the trustee, Susie, she's amazing, like firing on all cylinders. She believed in me. And they brought me there. And the whole place is kind of like the old school surgical, like very vertical, if that makes sense, where it's kind of flat-ish, say, movie theater is very mellow incline. It's really steep. So when you're at the bottom of it, with all these skaters and all the love in there, I'm going someplace with this, is that I heard people coming in, and one of the guys that believed in me, that kind of, I have this kind of other world, you know, that took me in through the nerd side. And one of the guys that believed in me, Randy Hill, Dr. Randy Hill, he happened to be there lecturing or something at like the Turing Institute or some crazy, like his level. And like MI5, MI6 stuff, like he's nuts, right? Like the stuff he does. And he's sitting up there next to Lori, and I hear people traipsing, and I feel my heart start to race, you know? And I'm like, oh, like a contest run, right?
Yeah.
Like all of it. You're like, oh man, breathe, just calm. And I'm like, sir, I had some coffee, maybe I should go to the bathroom first. I go down, it's like the catacombs, and like going down, and I completely get lost, because I get lost everywhere I go.
Spinal Tap.
Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wish I knew it well enough, but yeah. And so I'm hearing all these nerves, like 3 minutes away, and I'm setting up flares type of thing. Like, I don't know where I am, taking photos. And you know what I mean? Sending people. And I realize, like, I go out, they come get me, bring me there, And there are so many people, the skaters, the love, and here's where I'm coming back to where you left off, is it was like a highlight. I think my mom passed a long time ago, and I don't think I was ever intended to be this, but I did it anyway, and it gave me more than I could have ever imagined, you know? And so here I am, and that whole like getting lost thing of like, I'm not even like, it was going to take me 15 minutes to find that. And when they came and get me, my nerves were gone. Like, it was all this wave of love from the skaters, the energy in there. Like, it was insane. No nerves at all. And I'm like, and I practiced so much. And something that resonated, why they brought me there to begin with. So it was like a highlight for me. If there's any time I wish my mom were there, you know, my adult life type of thing.
Wow.
It was in.
Wow.
And again, just like hours, people coming up. My point is, one of the features they were trying to get across for bringing me there in the first place, Susie in particular, this lady with all the horsepower, it's like, there's an art to science and a science to art. It goes back to Da Vinci, I think, said that. I think it's Da Vinci. This is essentially what you're saying. Essentially, there's a sport to what we do, but there's a science to it. There's an engineering to it. There's all the stuff that goes into it. There's that ratcheting of competitivism that propels us.
Yeah, propels us.
Yeah.
For sure.
We need that.
Yeah, we need it.
But there's also that art that is heart. And again, man, just to hear you express it that way, I love like, hey, Olympics has this thing. Like, dude, you went to the Olympics. Get the tattoo. That's awesome, you know?
I got the pin.
You got the pin?
Yeah, pin.
There you go.
Pin life.
Whatever it is, but that you, no matter what, through all that, leave like, yeah, but I'm staying on the art side. It's essence. That's awesome. Never leave it, you know? That's what we have.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Thank you, Rodney.
Yeah.
Andy, you guys.
Thank you.
This has been
Thank you, Tony.
enlightening and probably more than we imagined it would be.
Yeah.
Right?
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just a passenger on this train. I
Thank you.
appreciate you guys. That was really cool.
Thanks for making this happen, man.
Yeah.
This is like,
that would be Brianna.
Oh,
Brianna,
Yeah,
and everyone
Brianna.
watching, this is the culmination of Brianna's outreach. So, thanks, Brianna.
I don't
you
mean to
guys
cuss
keep-
at the end of this, but how the fuck, Brianna?
Yeah.
Yeah, how you do this?
Wow. Well, I had to be late.
First time I met Brianna,
Had to be late.
I knew she was going to
Had to
organize
be in LA.
this show. I'd be like, how's that work exactly?
But it was, I mean, truly, it's because you guys are the two most popular guests we've had on the
Yeah.
show. And to have you in the same room seemed like it was going to be wildfire, and it was way beyond that. So we appreciate it.
Yep.
That's
Like, don't subscribe.
man. What? What's up, Rodney?
Are you not entertained?